Welcome back, you no good bastards, to the Pod Deep Podcast. Be very quiet. Kick back. Listen up. Subscribe, comment, and like. Pod Deep Podcast. Pod Deep.
Welcome back. Your boys are back. Pod Deep Podcast. Please like, follow, subscribe anywhere you can get your podcasts. The boys are back. We got Hughes, Jay. You know who it is. You guys see it. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good, man. What's up,
man? Doing good. Say it a little bit too loud. Move the microphone back a little.
Perfect. All right. Awesome. So, all right, we're gonna kick it off like we always do, guys. We're gonna go through a real quick question of the week from the Pod Deep Podcast. Real easy one. Would you rather be 25 or 45 for the rest of your life? Would you rather be 25 or 45 for the rest of your life? And I want you to think about this. So if you're 25, you didn't learn anything let's think about where you were in life at 25 and where you're at around now, 45. That's part one to the question. Part two to the question is your significant other gets the other age. So if you're going to be 25 now, it means your significant other is 45. But if you want to be 45 now, your significant other is 25 now. That makes sense?
Yeah.
All right, Squeaky, like you got it. What you thinking?
I'm going to go with the obvious of what I don't want to be. Yeah, I want to be 45 for the rest of my life, but my wisdom came to me at 45. At 25, I wasn't married. I wasn't thinking about being married. So I would take the 45 option because I learned more. I'm stronger at 45. You know what I'm saying? I was just more ignorant in the daredevil at 25 and shit like that. So I would take the 45, having my wife 25, you know what I'm saying? Living a nice life, you know what I'm saying? Making sure my health is in tip-top shape, you know what I'm saying? And making sure my finances are there, you know.
Can you handle a 25-year-old?
Most certainly I could.
Right, what you got?
Yeah, 45. Pretty much for the same reasons Sweet gave. You know, 25, you at your peak physical condition, but you ain't at your peak mental condition. So I would trade a little bit of that physical, you know, because sometimes I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it'll fuck with you that you can't do what you used to do.
Yeah.
But I would take that trade-off of, you know, still being able to do a little bit, but just mentally being in a better place, you know, because I really, looking back, I don't really like who I was at 25. So I go with 45.
What about that athletic prowess? Man, at 25, you was that cat.
Hey, like I said, you got to be able to give, you know, I ain't in the pros, so what good is it doing? What good is it doing me? You know, I'll be 45 and tear these softball fields up, live it up that way.
You can handle a 25-year-old?
I mean, for a little while. For a little while, shit. I ain't gonna front, you know. Some days it might not be there. Now she don't have to. Yeah, now, can she deal with that as a 25-year-old? Can she deal with her 45-year-old husband? You know, needing a minute every now and then.
Jay, what you think?
Let me switch that up before I answer.
Okay.
The woman would have to be 25 the whole time, right?
Yep.
No matter what.
Yeah.
So let's say in Rodney's scenario, or not his scenario, but our scenario. You have the 25-year-old, you get sick of her, she leaves, but you have to get another 25-year-old. Can we make that the game?
You can make it. They can make that the game. You have a 25-year-old significant other at all times.
I'm going with the 25. Me being 25, and the wife being 45. I think a 25-year-old would drive you crazy after a while. I don't think it's that too wild. Women are too wild at 25.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, I'm 25. I'll take the 45-year-old.
You know what, Jared? That's what I was thinking the same way. 25. So there's some pros to being 25, right? There's some pros. There's some physical fitness. You're probably going to be in some of the best shape of your life. Even though if you don't look it, you can still feel. You're a 25-year-old, man. You feel great. 45-year-old body is totally different. The spouse being 25, man, that's just a headache. You 45, you got a 25-year-old, want to be out, want to do this, want settling down with a 25-year-old. That was scary. So I think I'm gonna lean towards just being in the peak of my life, man. 25 was a good time. Personally, I think I was a little bit more mature than the average 25-year-old. I was starting to make better decisions. I wasn't making great decisions, but I was starting to make some better decisions. So for me, I think 25. But can y'all see yourself at 25 getting with a 45-year-old?
That's what I was about to say. There's no way in the fuck you gonna fuck with a 45-year-old.
Hell nah.
No way.
You find a good one, a good fit one.
No.
When you 25, you don't look at it like that.
A 25-year-old mindset. You're not looking for a 45-year-old woman.
So another twist.
Yeah, you miserable. You 25. Miserable.
Another twist, and y'all can answer this if y'all want. But you 25, so you're at your 25. It's your wife or significant other now, because they're probably around that 35 to 45 range. Could you do that?
Nah.
Do what?
Could you be with your person now? If you're 25 and your person is between 35 and 45 now, can you be with your person now at 25 and they was this age?
I could try, but my wife would leave me. The ignorant version of me at 25, not to. I got this big window of opportunity. Don't fuck with it. I'm a go that way every time at 25 because I think I can get away with it. But at 45, I know better. I've made those kind of mistakes like that. A 45-year-old is not going to play those kind of games, regardless how you piping that motherfucker down like that. They're not going to play them kind of games with you like that. So I don't think it would work for me, being 25 with my wife being 45 and sharp and stuff.
Okay, wait a minute. Flip that around. So you say you would be 45 and she would be 25. So she would be playing the games like you said you played. You know what I'm saying? So you could deal with that?
Yeah, I could deal with that. Because you ain't got no choice. Shit. It's her or the next motherfucker. They're gonna all be playing games. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna all be playing games. They ain't ready. But what you bring to a 25-year-old woman is you give her a wedding. You get her married. You know what I'm saying? Most women are ready to be married by 25, 27 in that time frame. You know what I'm saying? They're looking to settle down. They're not already graduated from college or something like that. So they looking to fill that role. They ain't ready though, but they think they are.
All right, cool, man. Cool. Any last thoughts on that? So we split right down the middle.
Yeah.
So two of us want to be 45, two of us be 25. All right, that's the question of the week.
That's a good one.
All right, guys, we had big news this week. Women's Final Four kind of pretty much took the headlines this week. You had LSU facing Iowa in the championship game. Actually, you had a pretty decent Final Four overall from the women that gave us, I think, way better than the men, what the men gave us. But in particular, we had Angel Reese from LSU going hard on Caitlin. I can't even think of the last name. The Caitlin chick from Iowa.
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark. Sorry about that. Caitlin Clark from Iowa. Just kind of want to get your thoughts on a couple of things. And I know, Rod, this was your topic, but I'll let you start off with it. Your thoughts on the Final Four, and then your thoughts on the controversy that's going on right now.
Well, okay. So let me preface it by saying I didn't watch any women's college basketball this year. I kind of just caught the scores, going across the bottom of the screen or something. I knew South Carolina was the head and shoulders above everybody. But when the Final Four came, I tried to, check in and catch a game. So I saw the South Carolina Iowa game. I watched that one. And I could see the seeds already being sown for, what we saw the following game. You could see the black versus white dynamic, starting to bubble up. And then, Coach Don Staley, after their loss, she went off, on the perception of her team from the media, and it's basically them, looking at an all-black team or pretty much all-black team, and how they're viewed as being bullies and overly aggressive, and so she pushed back against that narrative. So all of that, bled over, or led up to, I should say, the championship game with LSU and Iowa. And it's just more of what people people want to say that race is not a factor in our society anymore, but it is. It is always going to be that way. I think it's always going to be a clear divide. Like there are some things that's going to provide that clear divide where you're on this side or you're on that side.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, with the all white girls playing, they were the talk of the town. They were the toast. That everyone's raving about the viewership and the attendance and all that, and it's all because of this white girl who, who's the player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And they look at the black girls and they're overly aggressive, they're bullies and whatever. So shit didn't play out the way they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we all know about the you can't see me and all that. So that's why I kind of brought this up, just for us to just toss around. But just to wrap that all up, it's just more of the same. Whenever, we see this in boxing. We see it. We've seen it. We saw it in basketball, in college basketball with Bird and Magic.
Mm-hmm.
And that led over into the NBA to where it was a clear, black people was messing with Magic, white people was rolling with Larry Bird.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just more of the same. No matter how much people want to poo-poo it and say, "Oh, we're past that" and all that, we're not.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even think it's us, because I think we could roll any way with it. But when you pretty much give us no choice, then yeah, we gonna roll with we gonna roll with us.
Yeah.
But I really don't think we ever go into it like man, fuck them, because the little white chick, she can play,
She can ball. Yeah.
she can ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when you put a backers in the corner where it's like, well, shit, it's obvious what y'all doing.
Mm-hmm.
We got to do what we got to do. So that's my take on it. I turn it over to you all.
Cool. I'll jump in next. That was a good point, Rod. You bring up like Bird and Magic. I didn't even think about that kind of angle on it, but that's a great point. But did y'all feel that the athletes don't care? Like it ain't really the athletes that really care. I don't really think. I think they want to play. They want to ball. I think it was like a narrative, and race. Like you just said, it's sales. It's sales. It's people tuning in. They don't even watch basketball, but they know Caitlin Clark, player of the year, dominated Caucasian against this majority black team. That sells. People who are not even interested tuning in to figure out what's going on and root and have this rooting interest. It's all racial. You know what I'm saying? And like I was saying, I didn't think the actual athletes, while they may think about it a little bit, I just think they just want to play. I'm out here to beat these girls, no matter who they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's the media that portrays this white versus black thing, and that's kind of my feeling on it. Like I think the athletes really didn't care. They just wanted to play and win, and I think this media-driven thing made it this big whole race thing to me.
I think that gives them an extra incentive, though. Like when you see and when you see the coverage and how it's slanted to one side, it gives you a little motivation.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all right, I see what y'all doing.
And I think LSU saw them beat South Carolina and figured that I can see that. I can totally see that. Squeak, your thoughts?
Yeah, I watched the game, man. I thought it was very good. You know what I'm saying? Good Final Four, good NCAA women's championship. I mean, coming down, I would say mid first half, the game was kind of close, going back and forth. LSU had the momentum and they took that shit over. That whole LSU pulling away, that's when you start hearing the rhetoric of they have bad sportsmanship, you know, that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And had Caitlin Clark walked away with the W, you wouldn't hear any of this. She would have been doing any kind of gesture that she was doing against South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? You can't see me shit. They had nothing negative to say then. You know, the reality is when people don't fuck with you, they want you to be humble. They want to control you when you win. You don't get to control me how I celebrate. You know what I'm saying? They don't like when people don't fuck with you. They don't like the slightest and the littlest thing that you do. And when your celebration and you beating on your motherfucking chest, they want you to have class. But it's okay for them to, you know, their city win and they tear up the whole damn downtown. You know what I'm saying? They're not considered thugs. They're not considered hoodlums or anything like that. But let us do some shit like that. We're thugs and stuff like that. The game was good, man. And it's like you said, Iowa State players weren't feeling no kind of way about it. They lost the game fair and square. You know what I'm saying? Now I go back to the ref interjected early in the first half. You know what I'm saying? But that was the outcome of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like
that went both ways though.
Yeah,
they bad reffing.
Yeah, they was getting bad ref in the first half, but that didn't decide the game. You know what I'm saying? That was a good thing. But that narrative that those girls are hood and all this other shit, it's because they don't fit they don't look like the majority. That's all BS. It's not the girls themselves getting into it. It's that rhetoric that's being portrayed through the media. They do the same shit in boxing. It's always good versus evil. Like you don't need to advertise no shit like that. We're here to see a fight. You know what I'm saying? We're here to see a matchup. And when it comes down to a black team versus a white team, they always do this type shit. You know what I'm saying? And if the white team wins, these are the best that you ever seen. You know what I'm saying? You make one good player on that damn squad, you know, but we've always seen this kind of shit, you know, and the team that they thought would pull off did not win. You know what I'm saying? I thought LSU did a good job of playing team basketball. Caitlin Clark didn't have no damn help on her squad. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, LSU's a better team.
They're better.
They are.
I mean, Iowa just had that one chick. That's
all they had. But shit, if that was your first time watching them, you'd have thought they was the motherfucking favorites.
I really, you know, kind of get off topic. Well, one point I want to make. You talk about black and white. So when black people do it, if you show emotion or you show, or you know, you hot dogging or whatever, you're classless. But if a white person does it, it's passion.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They're just a passionate player. So, you know, this is the same old. But one thing I was kind of disappointed in Dawn Staley from the fact that she let that one girl beat them.
Okay. Yeah.
Like damn, you're better coach than that.
Smash
girl beat y'all.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed in watching that game. Like she didn't make no adjustments. It was just like She just let her do what she gonna do.
She got out coached.
I agree with that. Right?
I don't know. She got out coached because the other coach didn't do shit.
Nah, she didn't make the adjustments to what she was seeing.
She didn't make the adjustments.
That's when you get out coached. When you can't make the damn adjustment to trap her,
get the ball out her hand. The other coach didn't do anything schematically to say she out coached her. She just let that one girl beat her.
Yeah, you can't. They big bad South Carolina. They hadn't lost a game. We gonna win with what got us here, and it didn't work.
Yeah, you got to send a double team at her at some point.
Get out of here. Yeah, Jay, you got any thoughts on the Final Four?
I think you guys kind of covered it all. I don't know if it got mentioned. The one thing I don't like that may or may not have been covered is the invitation to the White House. Did anybody mention that?
No. First. Go ahead.
I didn't bring it up because I thought that might be somebody's swerve of the week.
That's blatant disrespect. And I guess you can call it racism if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you invite the losing team before you invite the winning team.
Yeah.
So that's disrespect. I don't really like that one.
And if you're gonna be the wife of the president, you just go visit the losing team. You know what I'm saying? But you keep that rhetoric around for every sports event. You just don't do this for just the women's and all. Keep that same shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's a team that look like you, so you want to patronize them. You can't do no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to have no parade for the losing team.
Mm-hmm. You know, here I hate them. I agree with y'all 100%. I hate that I'm defending this a little bit, but I'm gonna try. There's no defense for it. It was wrong. Losers don't come to the White House. It's just the winning teams. They put Jill. She was in a weird spot, man, because she's watching the game with both. She's watching the game with Iowa people that go to Iowa, people that go to LSU.
Mm-hmm.
When she's asked her opinion on the game, to me, she come across as somebody who's not super knowledgeable about sports. You know what I'm saying? She's just an older white lady, and I'm not trying to give her an excuse, but she just seems ignorant to the whole sports dynamic. And what she was saying is that it was a good game. Both teams played their heart out, which they didn't. That's why I know she's not a real fan of the game.
Right.
LSU clearly dominated the game. But she was saying, they both did great. They both did a good job. It'll be an honor to have them both at the White House. I think so. While I was out of place, I don't think it came from a disrespectful bone in the lady body.
I disagree.
You think so? You think that was purposely done?
They've been in how many people have they hosted in their 2 years in the office?
But do you think
they've hosted a bunch of sports teams, and they know, and she knows. Ain't no losing team ever been invited. It's only the winners.
Right.
The Cincinnati Bengals didn't come to the White House last year. The Rams did.
Sure, but it wasn't, and this might even sound worse, but it wasn't women. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't this whole woman dynamic that she empowering women. That's where I think it came from.
I still don't buy that.
Okay.
If this was 1975, because what they bring up, they brought up Title IX, right?
Yeah.
And it's 50 years since Title IX.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if this is 1975 and this happens, oh yeah, damn right. Let's empower these women. But we 50 years behind that. Like these ain't the first great women's teams. I mean, you think about Connecticut versus Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Those battles that they had.
Yeah.
So this ain't the first time that we've seen good basketball from women.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't the first time we had. I mean, we had higher viewership than we've ever had. But I'm willing to bet those Connecticut Tennessee matchups in the Final Four. I'm sure they were the highest rated women's games at that time.
Mm-hmm.
They were.
Yeah.
I
that's why I say they try to throw that women's thing in there, like empowering women. We 50 years beyond that. We 50 years beyond all that talk.
But every day you don't see a mic shoved. That's a mic that should have been shoved into the president's face. You shove it into the first lady's face. I just think she was out of her element. That's what I think.
That's okay, Sarah. I could see if she did a thing like this. She invited LSU and she invited Iowa before the game and wish both teams the best of luck. You know what I'm saying? With the running team coming back. Or even the Final Four teams. I could see if she did something of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Follow what I'm saying? Before the game is decided. I just want to reach out to you young ladies and let you all know, may the best team win. We are rooting for you all before the game. Then the winning team comes back. But what you don't do is you don't invite the losing team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What are you rewarding them with?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Other than a team that looks like you. To say, hey, you guys did good. We're proud of you. Go visit them. Go send them a live feed. You know what I'm saying? To say we're proud of you. But you don't give them no invitation.
So it's bad. So even if we're to believe that she's that naive to not know, it's still bad optics.
It is.
And then on
100%.
top of that, I've heard takes to say it's also a slap in the face to Iowa. So follow me on this one. So okay, we're inviting both teams. We're empowering women, but on the flip side, it could be viewed as okay. That team of white girls is so fragile and so heartbroken that we got to invite, they played their hearts out. So we got to invite them, just so they can have self-esteem and be good. So now you're placating them. So actually it could be you could look at it as a slap in the face at the same time.
No, I'm with that 100%. Cause like I said, Iowa was just there balling. They didn't want none of this. They didn't ask for none of this. Caitlin Clark didn't ask for none of this.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't. They wanted to win the game, so they were just balling. So I feel that. I totally feel that. And I know, like I said, I came to her. I wanted to kind of give the other side from Dr. Jill Biden, but she had to know how tense it was in that stadium. Like she had to feel the tension a little bit. So that's the one thing I'm gonna pull back on my statement. She had to feel the tension a little bit. So that was definitely you
can feel it on TV.
Yeah, there's definitely a black and white dynamic there. So she had to have some, feel that sense of tension. So all right. That's good talk, guys. Good talk about the women's Final Four. Who would thought we'd be talking about a women's Final Four? That's
we
great.
ain't gonna be talking about it till next year.
That's right.
Women's basketball.
All right. One topic came up in our group chat. We talked about do-overs. There are some things that maybe in life you want to do over as maybe an adult, maybe as a kid, maybe some places that you want to visit or something. And I'm gonna start with Hughes, and this is one of the topics you want to speak on. What do-over are you thinking about?
All right, so I'm gonna give you a restaurant that I want to do over. I'm gonna break it down: restaurant, city, country. I'm gonna do place, and movie. So one restaurant that I want to do over is Benihana. Me and Jay went to this restaurant in Memphis, Tennessee, and I never knew what the fuck it was. You know what I'm saying? And so we hungry. We just trying to get somewhere to sit down and eat. They looking at us like we a couple, so we can't just sit at a table because it's a place where they cook the food in front of you. That ain't my man. I ain't his man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we boys. You know what I'm saying? So we had to walk up out that joint. Like, nah, we ain't doing this, but the place was real nice. So I would really love to do that again. When it comes to like a country, a city or something like that, I want to do Jamaica over again. I thought Jamaica was real beautiful. The mindset I took before I got there, I thought I'd be able to go to every port of Jamaica because I thought it was kind of like motherfucking St. Louis going to East St. Louis. I thought everything was close. I didn't know it would take hours to go here and go there. So Jamaica is a spot that I got to do over. Mm-hmm. And then I would say the Atlanta Aquarium. Beautiful spot. Mm-hmm. Next time I go to that joint, kids gonna be in school. I'm never going in the summertime, no spring break, none of that crap. I'm going when kids in school because I love fish. I love that aquarium life, and I love being down there. So I want to do that. A movie that I need to do over is, I think it's called Tenet with David Washington, Denzel Washington's son.
Mm-hmm.
Got off into that movie. I started it, but I wasn't really paying attention. So I need a do-over with that one. So that's my list of my do-overs. What about you?
That's all good. Jerry, you got any do-overs?
That was an impressive list. That Benihana thing was weird. When we sat down, we did look like a couple sitting side by side, like Indian style at the table. I've never been back, man. I don't think I've been to a hibachi place since then.
Right.
Hold on. Y'all was sitting Indian style at the hibachi table?
Yeah, they sit you down side by. You at a table with like 10, 15 other people, couples, singles, whatever. But it's like a couple situation.
Is that politically correct? Indian style?
Yeah.
That's not politically correct. I'm sure it's not.
Native American style. With your legs crossed.
There you go.
Yeah, it was weird. Do-over. I can't think of anything. I don't want to get too heavy, but if I could go back to when I was like 17, I probably would have went straight to college. That's probably the do-over. Yeah. Or maybe went to the armed services or something like that. Just try to set up my future a little bit better.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's all I have.
That's strong, Jay. That's strong. I didn't even think about that, but boy, if I could do over, just getting my shit straight from high school into college and go right to college. Yeah, that's big. I think I ought to do that. But my do over is kind of crazy. Jerry, remember when we took a couples trip? You and your maybe was it your fiance or girlfriend at the time? Now your wife?
Yeah, girlfriend.
And me and Sam, we went to Punta Cana.
Yeah,
and man, it was, and the reason why it was a bad time for me, company was great, the scenery was great. Man, I had the worst toothache of my life.
Wow,
that whole week. And man, it just destroyed the whole trip. Now when somebody even say Punta Cana, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to go there. You know what I'm saying? It just messed up the whole vibe for me. I hope I didn't let on. I ain't never asked Jared about this. I hope I didn't mess up the trip, but I was in pain. That whole trip, man. I didn't bring no medicine, nothing. And I'm steady running to the like they got this on the resort, this, for lack of better words, like clinic where you can go buy these pills and Tylenol. And I was in that sucker like 4, 5, 6 times during the trip. But I hate that I couldn't enjoy that trip because man, I love vacation. I love being places. I love being away. So, but I would really want to do that over. And I got bad vibes from Punta Cana. Anybody tell me they want to go to Punta Cana? And my wife just asked me, "You want to go back to?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to go back to Punta Cana." So that's what I want to do over that Punta Cana trip. You remember that, Jake?
I definitely remember. I never knew you had a toothache. I never knew that.
I did, man. I was in pain. I mean, I was in pain, huh?
Why can you just say anything?
I mean, I ain't want you don't be that motherfucker messing up the trip for everybody. Just I suffered in silence, but I was in pain, man. That whole trip, I was in pain. Killed me.
We still had a good time,
I think we had a good time. I think it could have been a lot better on my side. The time we had though. Right, you got to do over.
Yeah. And this kind of ties into the whole 45 versus 25 thing. So when I was 20, well, actually I was younger than 25. When I was in the Navy, I was in my early 20s. And I went to a lot of different countries. And I didn't do anything there but drink and party and, chase women. Or get chased by women. So, when you ask me about Australia, I ain't got nothing really to say about it. I can describe what a club looked like in Australia.
Really?
But I never saw a kangaroo. I never saw a koala bear. Singapore, Thailand, Hong Kong, India. Well, no, not India, because India was a horrible place. So I didn't mind not going anywhere in India, but just countless number of places that I didn't get a chance to experience what those places were about. But being a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, my mind wasn't, or my head wasn't there. So sitting here at 45, I have a totally different viewpoint, especially that I like history.
Mm-hmm.
Even at that time I like history, but it's just, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was going to just ask you a couple of questions about it. Were you did you want to get the culture of those places, or you just kind of want to see what it was about? Kind of both, but what that you think would be different?
I mean, when you're in places where there are historic sites and things of that nature, and you didn't see it, because, you take it for granted. Like, I guess, if I put my pennies together, then could I go back to Singapore, Australia? Yeah. But, at that time, you don't know you don't know what you don't know. So as a young kid, you take it for granted. I actually would see guys, once we got off the ship, they would be on the pier talking to tourists. Talking to excursions, taking excursions and shit like that. And we would look at them like, look at these lame motherfuckers. They're taking trips. Like, the fuck wrong with them? Because the way it's set up. So you pull into a port on, let's say you pull in on Monday. Y'all leave it on Friday. One of those days you might have duty. So with the day you have duty, you're on the ship. You're standing watch on the ship. So you're not. So basically, that 5 days, has been cut to 4. So you're trying to do everything possible in 4 days. And it's not like you pull in. Sometimes you will pull in early, but let's say it's Monday, you pull in at 2 p.m. on Monday. All right. So now half the day is gone. Half Monday's gone. So now you're looking at 3.5 days. So you're really trying to cram a lot of shit in those 3.5 days. So that didn't leave time in my mind for excursions and taking trips to see the sites.
Let me interject and ask a question. Do you guys have to report back to the ship once you get there? Like, let's say you land there on Monday and you don't have duty until Thursday. That Monday, when you go off the ship, do you have to return back to the ship, or can you get a hotel?
You get a hotel.
So you can go anywhere, but you need to be back by Thursday, no later than Friday on that ship. And you got that 5 days to do whatever you want to do. And you can go wherever you want to go, but you're bringing your butt back here for duty, plus before we pull off.
Yep.
Oh, wow. I always in my mind thought that when you guys pull up to a port, you had to be back on the ship by a certain time, like a curfew.
No.
That day. Yeah.
See what you would do, what some people would do, they would look at the duty rotation and see, okay, by the time we get here, let's say by the time we get to Thailand, damn, I'm going to have duty on this day. So they'll start doing duty swaps to where their whole time there, they don't have duty. So if they get there Monday, they don't have to come back to the ship until Friday when it's time for us to go.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have been doing in the country that I want to go to.
And and a lot of times it would be good, like if the day you pull in, if you have duty, because 9 times out of 10, y'all not gonna get there very early. You're gonna get there in the middle of the day, so you ain't really missing nothing on that first night, and then you get off duty that Tuesday morning, and then you can turn the club up from Tuesday to Friday.
Hey, let me ask everybody a quick question. Minus the war, there's no war going on for the United States. Would any of y'all ever sign up for Navy to travel? 2 year, 1 year? Any would y'all sign up to do that?
I wouldn't. I mean, to me personally, it just wasn't never my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Never something it was never something I wanted to do. So I never envisioned myself doing that. I always felt it was too dangerous.
Me too.
Cop out, but I felt it was I just felt it was too down. I want to go to war. I don't want to get shot and killed. Even if it's not wartime, you know what I'm saying? You never know what'll happen. So that was always kind of what I thought about.
What about you, Jared? Would you sign up at your age right now? Just
age
for
right now?
powerful money.
You saying if I didn't have like the responsibilities I have now?
Mm-hmm. Just dump your responsibilities to the side. Just say, fuck, I'm gonna go right now. If there wasn't no age cutoff.
I'm finna say because you can't do it now.
Yeah, there you go. There wasn't no age cutoff, and you just like, you know what? I want to see the world. I'm gonna sign up. I'm gonna give a 2-year commitment.
Yeah, if I didn't have my family, I think about. I wish I would have did it. Either went to college or just went into the service. Took the free degree. I'm assuming it's free. Come out with that veteran status, and like Rodney, get you that federal job, get your pension going, and be set up.
Ain't
like
no
that.
pension. Ain't no pension unless you do 20.
No. The federal job pension program.
Oh man, that ain't shit.
Not that.
I gotta wait till I'm 70.
70. You said 70?
Yeah, I'm just Josh. I got you. But said, you mentioned that's not something you ever wanted to do. Fuck, that's not something I wanted to do. It's not something I ever envisioned myself doing. But sometimes you get to a crossroads and you got to make a decision. And like for me, college was not an option coming out of high school for whatever reason. It just wasn't an option. And then, everyday life wasn't working. So the military was the easy route for me to kind of, in a better words, like find myself. In the midst of me finding myself, I'm out of my parents' hair. They don't have to worry. I mean, obviously the parents are worried about you. Something happened, but and I'm talking about is just them having to take care of me or support me. I'm out of their hair, so I'm on my own, finding my way. So, it worked out.
It seems like, I know when you talk about it, Rodney, I know we talked about it a few times. It seems like if you could have just waited like 2-3 years and went into it, it could have been a much better experience if you was a little older. I know you always talk a little bit about that, about how when you got there, you was so young. Everybody in the same kind of age group, party mode, or what?
Yeah. But one thing you see is that a lot of guys who didn't have lives prior to the military, they get there, they fall in love with the first piece of pussy they get in a foreign country, and they bring her back to the States and they do 20 years. A lot, you see most of the people who actually had lives prior to that, I mean, I ain't got no statistics to show it, but I just know, but I know from seeing it, a lot of guys who really didn't have a lot going for them at home, they get there and they do 20 years, and that's their career. Me, it was ends to an end. And I just want, from the moment I stepped in, I was looking at that the day I get out. Okay. So obviously that wasn't that kind of led me down a path of misconduct and just not really conforming like I should have or could have. It just was like, I was 18 when I went in, and it was like, man, you do 20 years. I'm like, 20 years? I'll be 38. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like 38 was just so foreign.
Right.
Like, we couldn't see ourselves ever being 38 years old. And if we did, we felt like we would be old. So that's why I was like, man, fuck this. I'm doing my 6 and I'm out. Ain't no way I'm gonna be 38 in this bitch. You know how old I'll be when I'm 38?
Hey, last question though. I know we harping on this one, but would you do it? Would you knowing that you know now, would you go ahead and do that 20?
No,
You still wouldn't do it. Okay.
no.
All right.
But I would have made my 6 more profitable.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hey, hang on before we go.
Yeah.
Rodney, I worked for the federal government for 2 days. I got a $138 retirement check. You sure that retirement not about nothing? You got to max out.
Right.
Last Houston, Benihana. They have one in Houston, so we can do that one over. Punta Cana. I don't know about Punta Cana. I'm on the fence about going back too because it's right next to Haiti and they kidnapping people. Yeah, but you know we still have time to do some of this stuff over.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. We definitely get that in. We'll definitely get that in. So that's a good transition to our next topic. We was talking about our lives, some stuff we could have did different, and basically going high school, going into college, and that sort of thing. But let's take it back to the high school days. Some memorable memories that you guys got from high school. Anything jump out to you for high school memories, Jared? We'll start with you.
Just any memory?
Or memories.
Memory.
Let's do about years: freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year.
Okay.
First round. Let's do freshman year. What's your memories of your freshman year?
Man, I can't do it by year. I'll give you a good one. Before freshman year, 8th grade, I went on the trip that Sumner went to the state championship.
Okay.
I think it was in Jefferson City. It was somewhere in Missouri.
It was.
Jefferson City. Yeah, I was on that trip, and I just remember being on the bus, and we pulled in. It was like my first trip, by myself. And I remember pulling into like a Walmart in the middle of nowhere, and all these black kids get off the bus, and the workers in Walmart and the customers were just looking. We loud, going to get our little snacks and everything. They just giving us the side eye. So just that trip, I remember parts of that trip. Mm-hmm. So that was before freshman year.
Yeah.
That's one of my memories. I'll pass it.
As far as memories, though, I probably can do it like every 4 years, but my biggest memory was for my freshman year was getting on a football team. I heard about Sumner football team pretty much as I was coming up, and that was the thing. Get on the football team. So making it on the football team, my freshman year, of course, it was junior varsity. But getting on the football team, that was some pride, man. Walking around on Fridays with your jersey on, going to the pep rally, going to the big pep rally with the main team. That was dope. I was really 8th grade. I was really kind of unsure of myself, and I know I hit it well, but I was a big dude, big old dude. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of just made me launched me into high school the right way because I felt comfortable. I felt I was big for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Versus, I was playing sports. So that helped me ease into high school by being on a sports team and kind of gave me the confidence I needed.
I know for me, mine was just the opposite. My freshman year, what was memorable is I didn't go out for the football team. I was too intimidated. They had just went to state the year before, which was our 8th grade year. Then they went back to back. Our freshman year. So that was what was memorable about my freshman year. And then I think by that spring, I got my driver's license, and you couldn't tell me shit. You got any freshman memories, Rod?
No. To be honest, I'm really I don't think much about high school.
Mm-hmm.
I really it wasn't a good time for me. Mm-hmm. I don't really have a lot of good memories from high school. There was some, there were good things that happened, but I think overall, and I don't even think I've ever really spoke that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Not just to you all, but just I don't think I've ever said that out loud ever about high school. But as I sat here and listened and was just thinking, like I really didn't enjoy high school like I could have or should have. You know, it was a lot of I guess inadequacies, low self-esteem type of situations for me that happened in high school that I kind of just like block it out. Like I don't really think about a lot of shit. Like you all sit around and talk about, oh, you remember so and so and so and so, and I'm like, I really don't. Like I don't remember a lot of people outside of our inner circle. Like you remember that chick that did? I'm like, nah, I really don't, because I kind of just block that out.
That's interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going through that.
Me either.
Yeah, neither did I guess.
Hey, so I'll jump around a little bit. I don't know too much memorable in my sophomore year, but junior year I do both. Junior year, I had a chance to go. So this changed my life. Y'all probably know this. I had a chance to go to Washington, D.C.
How did that come about?
So just knowing Miss Cabot and knowing Miss Atkins, they knew I was they wanted somebody that could go represent the school in the right way. So I was lucky enough to get tapped to do that. My grades were good. I was kind of a gentle giant, soft spoken. So they knew I could get along with people. But I'm gonna tell you, that changed my life, man. That changed my life because I went somewhere where everybody had plans. You know what I'm saying? Everybody I bumped into, black, white, Asian, Mexican, everybody that was there, they had plans. They had already, my junior year, beginning of our junior year, they were already had, which how everything goes, they already had, letters in, acceptance letters from colleges. They knew what jobs they wanted. I got there, man. I was like, man, I got to get my shit together. So I made some really good friends, made some really good connections, and I really learned how to mingle with different types of people. That's where that's what's helping me now. I really got people skills by going off to Washington, D.C. and getting adequate, getting, interested in these different groups and, how people think and all that sort of stuff. So that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. A kid from the ghetto that didn't have a lot, that was really the best thing that could have happened to me my junior year.
How many was it of you all in their program?
Each representative has a page. So House of Representative, what is 200 and something? Is that? Am I saying that right? Is it 200 something representatives or something like that? I can't even remember the number.
It's more representatives. The
like
senators.
There's only 100 senators, and there's like, is it 200 or 400? Maybe
260 or something like that.
Something like that. But each representative has a page. So there's that many pages. The senators have a page. The House of Representative congressmen, they have a page. So it's just a big school. Everybody, 15, 16 kids. And I met very wealthy people, and I met people that were just like me, didn't have much, but everybody had the opportunity, and you didn't know, you just got the chance to meet and mingle and learn shit. So it was a great opportunity. That happened my junior year. Probably the best opportunity of my life.
Cedric, so we're revealing stuff. I didn't know you didn't know this. Maybe you did know. Maybe this might not be the right time to say it. I don't know. But they offered that trip to me, and I turned it down.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Why did you turn it down?
Why you turn it down?
You know how you like a homer, you don't want to leave home. That type of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that going on.
Yeah,
I had a lot of stuff going on. I'm actually glad I didn't do it because I got to spend more time with my grandmother. She passed away right after we graduated. Right after we graduated, she passed away. So me going on that trip would have meant less time, being around her. So it kind of worked out, right for me.
So how was the city of DC?
St.
Louis when you got there?
So this is a thing that I didn't do, and this is kind of what Rodney was on. When I was there, because I wasn't culturally with it. I didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? The city itself is a very clean city, very business city. It was a homeless pop. It was clean, but it was homeless. It was a lot of homeless, but they kept it clean in DC.
Okay.
But if I told you I did not go to a museum, you would think I was nuts. I did not go to a museum when I was in, and that place is full with museums. Every museum you can think of is in Washington, D.C. I did not go to a museum because I just didn't know how. You know, the Holocaust Museum had us open. There was a Black History Museum. There was an Aviator Museum, the Natural History Museum. I mean, there was so much stuff to do. That kind of stuff. And I tell you, I didn't go to a museum. So that's one of the biggest things I didn't do. I did, however, see all the monuments though. I got a chance to see, where Dr. Martin Luther King did his speech, the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Memorial. So I saw that kind of stuff. I went to the Merrimack. So I did some of that kind of stuff, but I didn't see a museum. But the city, and speaking of that, we're going to do that this year. We're going back, Sam and I are going back to kind of see it again. And I'm just going to kind of do some stuff I didn't do. Okay. But to compare the cities, it was much more vibrant. And it might have been just because of the place I was. I'm here, St. Louis. I was in some like kind of an impoverished area. There, I was in Washington, D.C., where that's where all the money is. Okay. So it was just a different time.
Okay.
Yeah. But I didn't know that, Jared. I didn't know you got offered that trip. I did not know that.
So was there supposed to be more than one person coming from Sumner back then, or just one representative?
Congressman Clay wanted a representative from the city of St. Louis. That's his district. Okay. And he wanted somebody in particular from our school that year. So that's how we got a chance to do it.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope. I know for me, my sophomore to junior year, I redeemed things I didn't get done my freshman year. I went out for the football team. And this particular year, they cut the junior varsity. So I hadn't played football since I was probably like 9 or 10, some shit like that, 11. You know what I'm saying? So to have to go out for a team that just won a damn state, and you ain't played since you was 10 years old, the pressure that you put yourself on. I wasn't lifting no weights. I wasn't in none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Barely doing 5 push-ups. And to be told there ain't no junior varsity. So if you make the team, you make it, you're on varsity. And I'm just in my head, like, I'm not good enough. I broke my knee 2 years ago, so I'm going to break my knee again. But I'm on my head to say, you could do this. So I got my confidence up and worked out that summer, just running up some hills and just running a little bit, get my wind out. Man, I was so tired and hurt and bruised that entire summer, training, doing them too, just sore. Just every day I was sore. The goal was just to make the team. The goal was not to be a starter. The goal was just to make the team, to see if I could still play. And you'd be surprised of the goal you set and how you achieve it by becoming a starter when that was never the goal. You know what I'm saying? Things got elevated and stuff. I really did something smart my sophomore year in high school. I took my electives my sophomore year instead of taking them my freshman year or taking them my senior year to lose my GPA. You know what I'm saying? Because I was playing it. I was playing like my freshman year. I thought I was just too cool for things. You fast forward to my junior year, I started dating at this particular time where my freshman and sophomore year, I thought I was just a player. But this particular time, I pulled me a little young chick and shit like that. And I'm gonna settle down my junior year, which was to, leap me into my senior year. But that's my sophomore and junior year for me.
Oh, God. Well, I know Rodney hated high school, so I
right.
Hey, Rodney, you don't remember we used to hang around all the time, joning on this one and that one, making fun of Mr. Sam's?
Yeah.
All that. You don't remember those times?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, all right.
You didn't like them.
Yeah, you seemed like you were having fun.
I remember that.
So moving on. I did one more. So senior year, we the big dogs. But I hurt my back playing football, right? So I had to miss a year playing football, and I had to get medically cleared to come back. So I was able to come back and play my senior year because I got medically cleared. And man, that was probably the best thing in my life because I didn't realize Hughes was on the team. I knew he played, and but I got back. It's the first time ever playing with Hughes. So I'm like, oh, my boy on the team. So we was on the team. I got so many members of me and him just talking in between plays because we played defense. And it's the first time I met Jared. Like, it was the first time really meeting Jared. Rodney brought him to the group. And I was like, who is this kid? Who is this kid? And he was like, oh, that's J-Rock. And that name stuck with me. I think I'm the only one that still call you J-Rock. And I got that from Rodney.
Time.
You call him J-Rock. So, and that's a memory, a memory for life that I came back from Washington, D.C., and back in football. I'm playing with Squeak. I meet you. Me and Rod always been tight. And here you are bringing J-Rock into the mix. So my lifelong friends, you know what I'm saying? So that was cool. That was cool. So that's my memory from senior year.
I think I remember shit.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't dwell on it. But there is a lot of shit that I really don't remember. But I remember what was that when we graduated? We all went over one of our friends' house afterwards.
Yep.
I don't say the names to protect the innocent.
Protect the innocent, right? Yes.
But we all like met up over their house or whatever, and just had a little good time. I think I had a little money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? So,
definitely remember that. Definitely.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good.
Are those friends you talking about? Are they female?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Mm-hmm.
And see, my grandfather actually passed the day we walked across the stage.
Oh, wow.
I remember that.
Wow.
So May 31st, 1995 always stands out.
Okay.
Because that's our graduation day, but my grandfather passed the same day.
Really?
I remember us standing in line, and I kept asking you, like, what's wrong with you? You wouldn't tell me at first, And then I saw him like kind of looking out, just like, how you know somebody and you like, something not right, And I kept pressing them, and man, I said a prayer for you because I felt so bad because mine was, in the stands waiting on me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I just felt bad. My heart went out to you that day.
Yeah, and see, like one thing that I didn't know till later. Like I played baseball for a couple of years, and we played at Busch Stadium, and like my dad and my grandfather were there, but I didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't tell me. Like shit. I can't remember when they actually told me. But I was talking to my dad and was like, yeah, me and your granddad, we was in the stands. I don't think I did I ain't do shit. I may have walked and got on base and scored a run, but I ain't get a chance to, show off or anything. But just the fact that they were, in that empty ass stadium there to watch me, you know what I'm saying?
That's good.
That was dope.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Jerry, you got any senior memories?
No senior memory. I have a memory. We could have been seniors. It was this girl. I always think about this. And she would back then when a chick like me, I didn't trust him. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, okay, what do you want from me? I just didn't believe it. But this chick was liking on me, and she had like a little gut. Turned out this fucking girl was pregnant. And that just always sticks into my mind. Like, why were you digging on me while you're pregnant? It was like,
I want you to take care of that baby.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, way back then. So that's a memory that sticks out to me.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh my god. Hey, I'm gonna flip the script. I know we got a topic listed, but I'm gonna skip this topic, and I want to run a new topic in this. So transformations. We embarked in March on like some small, and I'm bringing this up because let's start with this point. Black China did a transformation, and we're gonna get into that next. But in March, guys, we all did a contest, a challenge, a push-up and squat challenge for the whole month of March. So for everybody that's listening, we as a group decided to do 50 push-ups, 50 squats a day for the whole 31 days of March. Hey, I want y'all thoughts on it. How y'all felt at the beginning and how y'all felt towards the end. Hughes, what about you? What do you feel about that?
So my weakest point in this challenge was the squats. And so what I was trying to do was do my push-ups and my squats together. So if I got down and did 10 push-ups, I was doing 10 squats. That way I could report them in my calculator and stuff like that. So I kept my push-up limit because in my mind, I didn't ever want to do that, get down and do 50 squats. That's like my weakest. It's like my weakest part. So I kept my push-ups to like no more than like 30. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to have to run that up. And so when we did that bonus day on the 31st of March, I found myself doing more squats than I ever did and not realizing that I really could do that, how powerful the mind is. You know, I'm putting these numbers in my calculator and I'm down to my last 41 or 45, whatever that number was. Mm-hmm. And something just clicked in my head, said, fuck it, you got it. Do 45 push-ups. I got to do 45 squats now. Because my goal was to break that up. You know what I'm saying? I think about in the beginning how weak I was. Like, I couldn't, man, I was struggling with them 50 push-ups. Mm-hmm. As time went on, I got stronger and I got stronger. You know what I'm saying? Even battling COVID, I was using the push-ups and the squats to measure if I still had strength about myself. Mm-hmm. So I would get down, do my push-ups, do my squat. But I was, in my mind, I was going to use that shit as an excuse to just, miss a day and skip a day. you know, like I really was feeling it like I still got my strength about myself, even though I'm my congestion, my system, my lungs is all messed up and shit like that. I still got my strength about myself. I could do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I fix my mind to say, I'm not playing with this, I make sure I get good form in my push-ups. I make sure I get good form in my squats, you know what I'm saying? Because you can hurt yourself doing a squat, whether you got weight or not, So I make sure I get the good form. I don't cheat or anything of that nature. And it's really a confidence booster. I really appreciate it. It's confidence.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, I'll go next on this, Jared. Thank you. That was a good idea. I mean, I'm embarrassed. I couldn't even do 6 push-ups. Like I could not eat. Like I had to. It took me the first day we did them, do the 50 push-ups. It took me literally the whole day to do it. Yeah. Like I could do 5 or I could do 4. I mean, I think my last set I ended up doing like 2. You know what I'm saying? That's because I was trying to get to that 50. Right. I mean, I was embarrassed. I was like, God damn. And then like day 2 or 3, I was so sore, man, but I just wouldn't. I felt like I would let y'all down if I didn't do it. Mm-hmm. So that helped me. And I'm like, fuck. So I got through them days and it just got easier and easier. Now, I thought the goal was I was gonna be able to do 50 at one time, but I'm getting there. I can get like 35 easy. You know what I'm saying? 35 easy. So I mean to go from 6 to 35. I mean, I was proud of myself for that, man. I was proud of that. Squats were never an issue with me. I guess I used to always do squats was okay. But, man, I was really proud of myself. Like I said, I think, Jared, that was a good challenge, man. That was a good challenge. What was your experience with it, Jared?
Well, for me, because I was doing my table push-ups, I was already somewhat conditioned. No, I feel about the same. At first, my knees are bad. My knees were hurting with the squats. They don't hurt as much right now. So squats were okay. The push-ups were rough. You know, I had to start off doing like the 10 and take a break. Do 10 more, do it like that. But now I'm with you. I can do 35. I wouldn't say it's easy. That last 3 are kind of rough, but I can get 35 most days in one set. Especially when it's late or I'm trying to hurry up and get done, you know, get to that 50. I can do 35. Yeah, I'm glad we did that challenge. It seems like the challenge is not over.
I just kept with it, man.
I still got to hit mine, but yeah, I'm still rocking with it.
It's like a mindset, man. It's like I just jump up, I got a routine. I just knock mine out in the morning because it used to take half of the day. Now it takes 15 minutes. You know, 7-10 minutes. So, what was your experience with it, Rob?
I actually. So it's helping. It's helping me commit, you know, because one of my things is like I'll say something and I'm gonna do it and don't get around to doing it. So with these, you know, committing to these 50, it's helped with my commitment. As far as the physical aspect, when we started, I could drop down and do 50 push-ups straight, no problem. But it's crazy now. I can't do it. Well, no, let me take that back. I can do it, but I don't do it. I just do 25 and 25. It's crazy. We got to the 31st, and I had forgot all about. Like I had done my 50 for the day, and then I saw you post 100. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. We did commit to doing 100. So I dropped down and I just banged out 50 of them bitches just nonstop. So it's been good for me. You know, we about to have softball season is about to kick off in about 3 weeks. So just being, you know, usually that dead period between the end of softball season, you know, leads in the winter, it's cold, you ain't really doing nothing. So just that little bit of exercise for the last month has got me to a place where I think I'm on, you know, I feel like I'm gonna be. There's not gonna be that week or 2 or 3 weeks where you got to get in shape during the season. You know, I think I'm gonna hit the ground running game 1. You know what I'm saying? So, and for me, it's just the challenge. You know, it ain't a challenge no more. It's just this is our routine. You know, it ain't no we're gonna see it another 30 days. You know, this for me, this is the routine. 50 every day. If you want to get frisky and do 60, 70, 100, whatever. You know.
No, that's good, man. That's good. So we got to figure out how to challenge the next step, whether it be some calisthenics, some aerobics, whether it be some walking, whether it be some food out or getting rid of some. I'm down with it, man. I'm looking forward to the next. I'm looking forward to the next set of challenges. I
probably ain't gonna fuck with y'all on that. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to you and be like, hey, I'm gonna cut this out or I'm gonna cut that out, because I'm not. But I'm gonna continue to do my push-ups and my sit-ups, because I gotta get away from them squats right now. But I'm gonna do my sit-ups. Shit, you know, like I say, sometimes I'm gonna get frisky and I'm gonna throw a number out there. I'm gonna throw 100 on you motherfuckers and put the pressure on. You know, but at the same time, if you motherfuckers wake up and do 100, if I feel like matching it, I will. If I don't, I just do my 50 and I
That's all, man. You got to get that 50 piece. That's it. Y'all bodies changing? Can y'all see y'all body changing at all, or
not yet for me? I don't.
No, I don't think so.
Too soon. It's a good start. I needed this jump start, but no, not yet.
All right, cool.
I thought I would look more sleek in my tuxedo. You know what I'm saying? Doing this shit. I did.
Hey, the hardest day for me doing this shit was after my party. Man, I was like, they'll understand if I take a day off. But man, something in me just wouldn't let me do it. So I just rolled over. Something in it would not let me do it.
It's funny you tell that story in the beginning. I think it took me, if we started on a Wednesday or Thursday, it took me that next week, maybe like that Tuesday, to get in the rhythm to take that, to increase my push-up, because like 5, I couldn't get up a certain number.
Yeah.
Just with the squats and the push-ups. Like, I was like, God damn, I've done push-ups before. Like, what the hell? But you don't get credit for what you used to do.
So I got a question. So on an average day, do you all do yours first thing in the morning?
No.
I do mine first thing in the morning. Like I do them. I got a little routine. I do 25 before the shower, and then 25 before I get my clothes out, and then after I get my clothes out, I do the next 25.
What reason why I was asking that was because if you really want, I was going, we can keep the same number, but the challenge would be you have to have them done by a set time. So 8 o'clock in the morning, you got to have it done. So that's why I was asking what you all's day consists of, because that'll put pressure on the motherfucker. You got to get them done by 8.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I did it in the morning and felt great. I felt great. I felt stronger when I did it in the morning. It woke me up. It made me feel like I had enough in me to do more. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you wake up in that 6th and 7th time frame and knock your 50 off, you looking at noon like, I think I could do another 50, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt stronger doing it. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm proposing that for the remainder of this week, we'll see how I go after that. I'm proposing you have to have them done by 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 a.m. You have to have your sets done.
I can do it. I mean, that's my. It ain't no big deal for me because that's when I do them. I do them.
I haven't done mine today, but starting tomorrow, you have to have them done by 8 a.m.
I accept that, but put a penalty on it. What's the penalty?
Yeah, what's the penalty?
Whatever y'all want to put on it. I mean, we had a penalty, but that motherfucking ant.
I gave the Blade a break because he wasn't on the original call. He wasn't on the original talk. We just kind of threw him in. So I was like, all right.
He accepted it though.
He did.
He accepted it. So.
He did.
But whatever penalty y'all want though.
All right. You don't report back. If you don't report by 8, extra 25.
Now when is this starting? Next week?
Tomorrow.
Hey, I accept.
I accept. 25 is the penalty if you don't report. Now you can do them and don't report. We still got to do 25 if you don't report.
Okay.
All right. Cool. I just want to throw that in, man, because I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of us. Good job, man. All right. Thoughts on Black China. All right. So for everybody who don't know, recently Black China underwent surgery to have some reverse surgery. She got all the filler taken out of her face. She got all the filler taken out of her body. And she's starting to look like a normal person. Very pretty young lady. I wanted to kind of ask you guys, what's your thoughts about that? First, your thoughts about Black China, what you think she look like now, and then why do women do that? Is it for us, or why do they do that? What do you guys think about that? So I'll start with me. I am a man that likes women to look like women. Everybody got their type, but I like voluptuous women. So I think she looks great both ways, but I actually like the filler one. Me personally, just type of woman I like. I like a woman that's lipstick, makeup, voluptuous. So while I didn't think she looked bad before, I think she's still pretty before and after. But I personally prefer the filled up China. Me personally. What y'all think?
I'll go next. I really, to be honest, I've never really paid much attention to her. Well, she's Angela White now, right? She's no longer
Angela White.
Black.
Yes.
I've never really paid much attention to her, but I like the fact that she's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm not sure of why she's doing it. I haven't dug into it, but I like the fact that she's doing this for the image that it can portray to our young women out there, because we see this, we fall into this trap on Instagram and all this shit of what we think beauty should be. But I'm glad she's doing it, because she's showing that, hey, you don't have to, spend $10,000 and get a fucking butt injection that'll fuck you up, down the line. You can be beautiful just who you are. And as a man, I look at naked women all day on my phone, but in my mind, I'm like, that shit ain't real, and it looks good, but it's manufactured. And to me, it kind of makes me appreciate, what you got. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, hey, it's real. It's, I'd rather it be real than manufactured. So that's my spiel. I like to, I hope that this could, affect, little girls growing up, and let them know that they don't have to do, go take the surgery route in order to be beautiful.
That's what's up. Squeak, what you think?
Yeah, I commend her on as well. You know what I'm saying? I know that's probably a big mental adjustment that she really had to go through to actually get the surgery, and then, have a change of heart and walk around and get all those fillers removed. I think she's beautiful right now in her natural state. You know what I'm saying? Versus the change that she was going through, with the fillers and stuff like that. I do think it sends a good message out there to the young girls and the girls of her age, her peers. You know what I'm saying? No telling what they're filling you up with. No telling what the long-term effect, would be. And she has kids. She has kids now. You know what I'm saying? So I think she's beautiful. I think she looks better now than she did before. And I'm happy for her. I hope she goes down that journey and continues to work on her mindset and not have like any regrets from removing the filler. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to plan. You don't want to keep playing with it. I think about Michael Jackson and how, as a kid, this guy had all the damn girls falling out over him. The only man I ever seen that had women fainting. And the end result of him was that he didn't even look like a man or a guy that I once recognized and wanted to be like and emulate. You know what I'm saying? He did it all for nothing. You know, like from just all the constructive face shit that he had done. So I commend Black China. She looks. I like the natural version of her.
Okay. Jay, any thoughts?
Ditto. She's prettier to me, natural. Considering the health risk involved with getting injected with this stuff, but just getting put under for the surgery, it's super dangerous. You guys see that nurse who was trying to do lipo on herself?
Yes.
Killed herself.
Yes, kill herself. Yes.
Yeah. I think it's time for somebody to step up like Black China, Angela White, and be the anti, butt lift injection person. Somebody needs to, change that narrative. So I like how she looks now. She's she's well spoken. She made her money, so she has some money. I like her now is what I'm trying to get at.
No, that's good. That's good. So my whole point is with me, I want you to be happy with whatever you want to do. I don't want to judge you. If your end result is getting surgery, putting it in, that's fine. I just want you to be the person you want to be. Like, she's beautiful. With it, she's beautiful. Without it, she's beautiful to me. So, but whatever makes you happy, whatever floats your boat. I didn't really think of it as like the role model point of it. So I'll take that into consideration because that's big. You don't want our kids growing up seeing that. But I want your kids be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Do what you want to do. But I definitely get that. But I saw those pictures and I was like, whoa, you know, it was such a difference. But
hey, I know we running about 124. Are we gonna get to that D Wade topic? Because I want to get you all.
Let's jump into it right now. Rodney, go ahead and present the topic that you were thinking about.
So my second topic that I wanted to bring to the table, I wanted to get as 4 strong black men with families, with children. I just wanted to get you all's opinion on how Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, their family, how they've handled this his transgender son, daughter. I mean, him, her. I don't know what pronoun to use, but just how they've been able to use how they've navigated this process. So I start. So we all just kind of the one thing I've always thought it was like you can't tell nobody how to raise their kids. They raise their kids how they see fit. But I'm not on that tip with this one. There's a topic. So I'm gonna turn it over to one of you. I'm gonna turn it over to you, Squeak. How do you feel about that whole situation?
I'm gonna speak from a parent, and I'm gonna be ignorant. I'm forgive me for my ignorance about in the trans community. I don't mean to offend anyone. I think as a parent, as a father, I commend D Wade on listening to what his son or what his daughter has spoke up to him and said, and him standing behind his child. You know what I'm saying? To me, as a parent, your sexuality as a parent or as a person should not be determined by your parent. It's what you feel inside. You know what I'm saying? And if you have a parent that speaks for you, because I can only imagine what my life would have been if I'm in D Wade's son/daughter's shoes, and I expressed this feeling to my father. I don't think I would ever got the support that D Wade has shown for his son. My father, supporting me, and I want to get a sex change, or I feel like I'm like I got feminine ways. I don't feel like growing up in the 70s and 80s that a lot of black men got to be great men and support their kids, but me growing up, I never had those kind of sexual conversations with my parents, and I was never forthcoming about how I was really feeling. So I really hate to kind of judge D Wade. Only thing I could just say that I could tell that he loves his child, because he's not embarrassed, or he doesn't give a shit about what anybody thinks. You hear Boosie saying, don't cut his dick off. Don't cut his dick off. You hear him saying that in the beginning, but at the end of the day, that's a man that loves his son/daughter, and he's embracing it. Is it good on the optics? May not be. You know what I'm saying? But that's not my life. You know what I'm saying? I think his son, his daughter, has a great father that he or she can lean on and come to, and I think as a kid, that's all you really want. You want to be able to come to your father and get shit off your chest. You know what I'm saying? To tell him how you feel, and not have anybody, shit on you or ostracize you or tell you to man the hell up when you don't feel like a man. I have a child, and it doesn't matter what my child's sexual preference is. The rules still remain the same. Make sure that whoever you dating treats you with respect, or they're going to have to see your father. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting. The only thing, so I got two thoughts on it. I think you got to be careful early on with, if your child comes to you at a certain age, you got to be careful with that, because that's a decision that's going to alter everything for life. So I would just be very clear, and I would probably try to not guide that decision, but be very clear. We don't rush the steps. Let it happen naturally. And as you get a little older, then, the sex change. I think it was different for D Wade because they have resources. You know what I'm saying? They have resources to get things done quickly, to keep things quiet, to do it the right way. A lot of people, a lot of kids find themselves in this situation and they don't have the support, number one, and they also don't have the resources to get what they need taken care of. So I just think it's unique to Zaya that she could get it all done because she has two supportive parents, but they also have the resources to get it done. You know what I'm saying? That's not a cheap thing to do, to have a sex change. And, and just think about if this could have took longer, the stages that the body would have to go through, the scrutiny that kid would have had to go through. You have to be a strong kid, and you got to have a strong support system. So I say all that to say it was just the right place for her. But I would really caution any parent to really take their time, listen to the kid, but really take the time and make sure it's not too early, because it's a life change. It really is.
Yeah, I'll go next. Yeah, I'm totally, on the other side of that conversation. Squeak, you talked about, you can tell that Dwayne loves his child. But the other side, on the flip side, if you're against what they're, this decision or whatever, that's love too, because you're doing it because you know what that child could potentially endure. Plus, at 13 years old, I'm just not going to be sold on this child knows what the fuck they want. I don't know if, I'm not sold that they know that they can develop or can make sense of what they're feeling. They could wake up, what if they wake up at 19, 20 years old and be like, damn, this might not have been the right choice for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, 13 years old is way too young. So if this is the path that you want to seek, okay, I'll support you, down the line. But right now, no, we ain't doing this. You're going to have to figure out, whether it's counseling, whatever we got to do, but I'm not taking you, and I used to say, you brought up that they got the means. I don't give a fuck if I got the means or not. You're not getting transitioned at 13 years old in my house. This is how it is. Like, and people, I know people say, well, you could tell so-and-so was going to be gay. They had feminine ways when they were real young, but I've seen a lot of guys who act feminine get a lot of pussy too on the flip side. So it's just a matter of, kind of finding out who you are. And to me, at 13 years old, your brain ain't developed enough, in my mind, to really make a decision like that as far as transition and all that. So I would be, I would not, and I want to preface it. Me not being supportive of it is not out of a lack of I don't love my child, because you do love your child and you want the best for your child, and you don't want to see your child damaged and hurt in any way. And, so I'm not going to do anything for my child at 13 years old, knowing that child, they're not even all the way developed yet. So, make a life altering choice at that young, I wouldn't do it.
Let me ask you this. I hear you're going to transition, but would you let your child live as a would you let your child live? Are you more about the transition or the lifestyle? Would you support the lifestyle? Like, say if your kid wanted to live as a woman, however, don't transition yet, but wants to live as a woman, are you okay with that?
At that young of an age, no, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
So does that have to do with you granting as a parent your child's wishes, or is that more you not being able to deal with the imagery of what it is that your child is saying?
It ain't about the imagery, because if you're a grown person and if you're grown and you decide to go down that path and you're my child, then hey, I'm gonna support you. But I'm not supporting you at 12, 13 years old. That's just too young for me to concede that this is just your path. That's just, this is how I feel about it.
What about gay though? What about gay?
I mean, because what's in you is in you. I know you said, you 13, your mind not developed, but shit, you 13, your dick get hard too. You don't have to be 25 for your dick to get hard, and we don't know how long D-Wade Zaya has been, talking to D-Wade about this. Like, it just didn't happen last week or last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been talking about this for a while. Your child, maybe you wasn't aware, but I mean, you got to.
No, but check this out though. It's not a right or it's not a right or a wrong. This is just me. Like, that's just how I feel. Like, there's nothing that can be said that make me be like, yeah, you know what, you're right. That, like, this is just this is what my stand on it. Like, I would not be supportive of my child doing, doing at that young of an age. It's just like, so where does it stop? So if it's in you, if it's in you, like you say, what if it's in you at 8 years old?
Shit.
Are you gonna let your 8-year-old put on women's clothes, or heel, dress like a girl when they go to school? Are you gonna let if it's really in them like that? I think at some point, as a parent, you have to step forward. Now, if that causes my child to look at me down the line as not being supportive, then I have to cross that bridge when I get there. But there's for me, there's an age where I'm, we ain't doing that. Sorry.
Jared, you got any thoughts on it?
No, I don't have any. I'm sorry, I don't have any deep pod thoughts on this one. That's his family, his decision. I don't have an opinion either way. When I see it pop up on the news, it doesn't really shock me. That's his family, their decision. So yeah, I don't. It's their thing.
Okay. And I think the same thing happens from a heterosexual standpoint. I think you have a lot of men that tell their daughters, you can't start dating until you're 16. Like, when she gets 16, her mind develops. She wants this, she wants that. We don't emphasize that. For some parents put a time limit on when their child can date. My parents were not like that, so I was free. By the time I went to preschool, I've been into women. I've been into girls. You know what I'm saying? And that whole don't date, that never worked for me. That type of control shit, that never worked for me. I've had girlfriends from first grade. Nothing was serious, but I've had girlfriends from first grade all the way till I graduated from high school. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been into girls like that. I really was. That's the thing that stopped me from breaking down crying when my mom dropped me off at school, was that a girl asked what's my name. It's just like, oh, okay, well, shit, you gone, mama. You know what I'm saying? I'm good now, because I grew up not really seeing girls outside of my sister and my cousins and my next door neighbors. You know what I'm saying? So going to school was the first time that I've seen girls that were my age. I had never seen anything like that in my neighborhood. I didn't go to school in my neighborhood. So, You know, when I went to school, it was the first time that I saw a girl, my peers like, oh, she cute, you know, like it was mind blowing for me, you know. So my parents really could control my sexual side of things, you know what I'm saying? And it got worse when I got to high school. You know, it got worse because I'm now with girls that's thinking the same shit I'm on. You would know, well, you're not developed mentally enough to know. I was thinking my girls 24/7.
But come on, Steve. You know, it's not this. I get what you're saying, but that is totally not the same thing.
So I say it like this to say, I once heard Dr. Umar Johnson say, I hate to put his name out there like that being gay is more so like of a lifestyle. It's not within you. But you got to flip that and ask, how old were you when you started liking women, and what did you do to like women? Nobody forced me to like women. It just happened naturally. I didn't take a pill or drink no water and it was like, ooh, these women fine. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to get groomed by my father to be attracted to women. It was just in me. Mm-hmm. So if I was attracted to guys, that shit is in me too. Then it ain't like I drunk too many cookies or ate too many cookies, or drunk too much milk and I flipped to the other side or shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he may be Zaya may be 13 or whatever age he's at, but what's in you is in you. You know, either you're gonna deal with that as a parent or not. You know.
Yeah, like I said, it ain't happening. I ain't gonna support it at 13. Yeah.
But the last question for you, Rodney, and I wanted to see your answer on this. Will you support a gay lifestyle though at 13? Even though you giving them the time to learn, or her the time to learn, but if they clearly heading down this path, they want to be they want to live as a gay person. You got any problems with that?
They don't need your support. They gonna sneak behind your back, like we was doing our parents.
So I'll say this: whether you're 13 or 33, you can be gay, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're not coming to my house super gay. Like, you're not. I mean, I don't. Yeah, that may sound fucked up, but you're not coming to my house super gay. You're not coming to my house for Thanksgiving in high heels and a thong and pink feathers around your neck. Nah. Now you can come dressed normal and you can bring your boyfriend, but you ain't finna come in my house super gay. That's not what I'm doing.
So you saying that your son, he's not coming like super gay and stuff like that. You ain't supporting it.
He can be gay. He's just not gonna be super gay in my house. Like extravagant,
flamboyant.
He's dating.
Like Atlanta flamboyant gay dude. Like, nah, come on, chill out. Put on some doc. If you're gonna come to dinner, put on some Dockers and and some something.
That's interesting. What
on some Dockers and a little polo, and we can come eat this turkey after we, you bring your boyfriend. Hey, he can come in, but afterwards, hey, if y'all want to put on high heels and spandex and all that, hey, great. But we just ain't gonna have that at my dinner table.
That's interesting. What if he's rocking you to sleep? What if he has the Jordans, the swag that he knows that you want him to have, but it's his friends that come from a different lifestyle that's not conforming, and they are being invited over to your house, and you can see from his friends and who he hangs with, something's off here.
Well, his friend ain't coming in. Like, hey, you gotta tell your boy, he can get a plate, but you got to eat it on the porch because he ain't coming up in here.
Hey, hold on. This is interesting. Does it make a difference if it's a boy or girl? Right? Like, if it's, I see clearly how you feel about a boy being a girl. What if you had a little girl? that
The thing about it, like, what's flamboyant? How you gonna be a flamboyant lesbian?
Just like a dude.
it's like a dude.
Yeah, just
Okay.
like
So you coming in with some Dockers? Okay, come on.
you coming in with J's, shorts, sagging, see the boxers, tank
Now,
top.
you gonna pull up pants up, but I mean, nah. The flamboyancy of a lesbian is totally different.
So Young and May is your daughter. Is she come like that? Is that okay?
Young and May, she looking pretty bad right now. Ain't she?
But I'm talking about, when she was doing her thing. When she was doing her thing.
But what? She dressed like a dude. So
Yeah.
like,
But like a real, like, a dude, like the thuggish dude you ever want to meet.
nah. I mean, I'm all right.
Is that like a dent to your ego, your pride, or
No.
is it just how
No.
you feel? Or
No, it's just how I feel. Like that's the trap that we get. That's the trap a lot of men get caught up in when their son comes out as gay, because they think of it as a blow to their ego. They look at it as if they did something wrong, if they didn't raise them right. But no, this is just how I feel. And it got nothing to do with perception of what. Oh man, I hope the neighbors don't see my son come in looking like this. No, it's just, it's a standard. It's a standard for me.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it's right. Not trying to, bring anybody over to my side. It's just, you're not gonna be super gay at my table. You can be gay at my table.
Super gay.
yeah, I don't have a preference or anything like that.
Rodney, if they show up super gay, do you say no? You can't come in.
Well, they're gonna know that prior. They're gonna know that prior.
What if they don't know?
They're gonna know, because if I know my son's gay, then we gonna have talks, and it's gonna be like, hey, I support you 100% if that's what you want to do. Just know when you come around here, hey, this is what it gotta be.
Oh my God.
Okay, come on, let's move on.
All right. So we gonna stop right there with that one. It is time for Swerp of the Week. Let's go ahead and wrap this puppy up, boys. I'm gonna start off first, and I'm probably gonna steal it from somebody, but I got to give it to the first. With all due respect, I say this respectfully for the First Lady of the United States, Jill Biden. Kind of out of pocket for the whole inviting Iowa and LSU to come to the ceremony. I mean, to come have a winners celebration when Iowa lost the Final Four game. So, Jill Biden, I know we were on you earlier, but lastly, you're my Swerp of the Week. Anybody else got a Swerp of the Week?
Yeah, I got one. I'll go. Cameron, he's my Swerp of the Week. For challenging Mario Chalmers and thinking that he could beat Mario Chalmers. Like, Mario Chalmers will kill that dude. So he's I mean, it could all be for publicity, but something about me thinks something tells me Cam really thinks he can beat him.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
So yeah, he's my Swerp of the Week.
Okay.
Like no average dude walking on the street can beat any NBA player.
I agree with you.
From the and I'm talking about the 12 man on the bench. Like no average dude can beat them.
I go next. I got one. My Swerp of the Week is to the fallen rapper BTB Savage. When Vlad did a interview about taking a man's life that was supposed to do a song with him, killed him in an apartment, and weeks later he was murdered. So that's my Swerp of the Week. You never brag or talk about killing somebody. Took pictures, posted those pictures of the bloody apartment on Instagram, and didn't think that shit was gonna come back to haunt him. Sad. Rest in peace. But that's my Swerp of the Week.
So wait a minute, what happened?
So a rapper was set to do a feature with another rapper, and so the rapper brought his uncle with him and left additional equipment outside. So the rapper BTB Savage locked the door. And so the guy he locked inside was a guy that was 34 years of age. And he pulled out this money and all this stuff. And the way he tells the story, this dude tried to rob him inside his house. And it was his girlfriend at the time who shot the guy. They tussling with the gun, and she ended up shooting BTB Savage. And so moments after he took that man's life, he posted those pictures on Instagram of bloody apartment and stuff like that. But then he followed it up and did the interview with Vlad, detailing the story. And Vlad pretty much said, the woman is the gangster of the story, because she basically shot through his shoulder. BTB shot through his shoulder, hit the guy, shot him in the back a couple of times and stuff like that. And dude kind of bled out and stuff like that. It was supposed to be a setup. Dude was like, show me this and show me that and stuff like that. So, he high-siding, talking about this stuff like that. The guy that was outside had more guys with him. They ended up shooting through his front door. They didn't get in. He fired a shot. They didn't get in. You know what I'm saying? So that lets you know that it's more parties involved. You shouldn't have done this interview. You know what I'm saying?
So that's kind of what I was getting to. Like, you took us straight down memory lane with that story.
Hey,
I kind of was just trying to figure. I just wanted to hear it. So he killed somebody, and then he went on Vlad TV and he told the story.
He killed somebody. He posted the pictures of the blood trail on Instagram as well, social media. Let's say that. Then went on Vlad and did an interview about the whole situation.
Okay.
And he wasn't remorseful in that interview. So, the guy's friends and his homies, whoever, saw that and they retaliated.
Okay. I would like to have a conversation on Vlad TV too.
Yeah, that's gonna be in jail. No, I was playing.
No, I'm not saying conversation on his show. I'm saying talk about, have that be a topic. Vlad TV.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Jared, you got one?
I would like to give my swerp of the week to chickens. Okay, so you ask why chickens? Because they have made the price of eggs way too high. So my swerp of the week goes to chickens.
Is it the chickens or is the farmers?
I think it's the chickens. So, holding out on the eggs. Now eggs cost 4 times what they used to cost. So chicken. That and barefoot women. I can't stand women who walk around outside barefoot.
Ooh.
So
those two.
Where the fuck did that come from?
Right.
Jared, I didn't know how bad that disgusted me until you just said that, but I'm the same way. Oh,
I can't stand it.
I can't stand it.
Where do y'all see barefoot women at?
Just out. Like, if you ain't on the beach or you ain't where you should be barefoot, like you just walking around somewhere barefoot, like Walmart, or you just barefoot on concrete.
Who the fuck does that?
I ain't
never seen bare feet women walking around.
Nah.
Not in Walmart.
You gotta look.
You gotta look, man. But yeah, I'm with you on that, Jay. With you on that.
Yeah, I would be definitely turned off.
Turn off.
I don't know how the fuck we went from chickens to motherfucking bare feet ass.
That was a swerve of the week. All right, fellas. That's a wrap for episode 37 of the Pod Deep podcast. Please like, subscribe, and follow us everywhere you can see your podcast. That was a good one, boys. Everybody say good night.
Good night.
All right, good night. Take it easy.
All right, peace out.